Hello, my name is Jack, and this is the beginner's guide to oboe. This is a video just in general to get you started on oboe and to help you through your journey and help you get started. Um, and it begins right here with the oboe in the case. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your case is facing the right way before you open it. This will be your buckles will be pointed down, and when you open it, you'll flip the buckles up. And you want to open your case. Inside, you can see there are 4 pieces to the oboe. There is the bottom joint, the biggest part. This has cork on one side and an open hole on another. There's your upper joint, which has the mouthpiece hole. There's your bell section right here, and your reed and reed case. So, to assemble your oboe, you want to set it down on a flat surface. And if you have caps on your corks, you want to take those off. Now, you want to take your bottom joint, or like we talked about, your biggest joint, and your bell joint, and touching as little keys as possible on either one of them, gently twist your bell joint onto the oboe so that these keys here align. Now that that's assembled, you want to take your upper joint, and also holding as little keys as possible, you want to line up these pillars with these pillars on either joint. Again, holding as little keys as possible. Using the twisting motion. Now you can see the pillars are aligned. Now, I'm going to take your reed out of the case, and we will talk about reed maintenance in just a second. But for now, just push it into the top of your oboe so that the flat side of the reed is facing the back of the oboe. And now you've assembled your oboe. So now we're going to talk about reed care. Before you play, you'll want to soak your reed in a cup of warm water or in your mouth for 1 to 2 minutes. Obviously, I won't wait the whole 1 to 2 minutes, but you want to, just make sure that it's nice and well soaked. You can test it by just blowing into it and seeing if it makes noise. If it doesn't make noise, then it's not worth playing, or if something's up with it. As a reed gets older, it's okay if you need to open the mouth a little bit just by pushing on the sides, and brush off any hair if you see it. If there's a crack in your reed, you should replace it. If your reed is sounding dull but there are no cracks, you can also run water through it to rinse out all that debris. So now that you know how to soak your reed and how to assemble your instrument, now we're going to talk about breathing. So breathing on the oboe is extra important because it's very easy to hold a lot of breath tension in because this instrument has a lot of resistance. Breathe from your whole torso and stack your breaths from the pelvic floor up to the chest, feeling your ribs open on either side. And specifically with the oboe, it's very easy to get caught up inhaling more than you exhale. So make sure that when you, right before you take another good breath when you're in the middle of playing, let out the old air if you can in order to let the new air in. Now, your standing posture for the instrument, imagine there is a string coming from the top of your head. Pull that string up, align yourself, pay attention to your tailbone and your neck tension, imagining that that string is lengthening you in either direction and just feeling yourself relax. And your sitting posture is exactly the same. Just imagine that string just dangling you. And in order to avoid tension, always make sure to bring your oboe to you instead of you to the oboe. For your hand position and finger technique, make sure that all of your fingers are gently touching the keys of the oboe and are all gently curled. The oboe is open hold, so make sure that your fingertips are covering the holes and that your pinkies are resting around the A flat key and on your right hand, the low C key. You want to gently relax your fingers across the entire oboe, gently curving them in as such and covering all the open holes. Now for your embouchure, there's 4 steps. You want your lips together as if you're whistling. Then make sure that you're keeping a flat chin while you do this. Not a tucked chin, not a protruded chin, flat chin. Now, slightly curve your lips inward as if you're reverse whistling. And this will give your lips a different sort of curve while still maintaining the pucker. Now, place the tip of your reed just past the fleshy, soft area of your lips. As you can see, just past. And use your lips to surround the reed and push air through it. For articulation, it's very important to think of articulation as the tongue merely interrupting the airstream instead of completely stopping it and starting it again. There's a lot of people where their tongue is very, very heavy, and it's almost as if they are completely stopping their airstream with their tongue and like spitting it out. You want to imagine that you're spitting a watermelon seed out with this. And it's articulation on the oboe if you're not double tonguing, just thinking about single tonguing. It should only be done with the tip of your tongue. That should be all you need. Should be the tip of your tongue to the tip of the oboe reed. And to articulate, you interrupt that airstream. You merely interrupt it. You don't stop and start it again. You just stick your tongue in the way for a little bit. You don't want to overexercise your tongue. It's very easy to have that heavy feel to your tongue. Some unique quirks about the oboe include the half-hole technique and both of your octave keys. So the half-hole technique for the oboe is used for playing the notes C sharp, D, and E flat in the second octave by creating a small opening on your right pointer finger, or on your left pointer finger, sorry, your left pointer finger. So here, fully covered, half hole is gently rolling it up. So gently rolling it up. So you can hear the tone difference. I'm trying to play a D completely covered. It isn't quite as full. Now, you don't want to lift your finger off completely, but either way, the first octave key can be found where your thumb rests on your oboe naturally. Just where your left thumb naturally rests. And it's used to play the notes E5 through G5 on the oboe. The second octave key is found where your left pointer finger naturally sits. It's this key right here. And based on the curve of your fingers, it should require very little movement to activate it. just barely any movement to press it. And it's used to play notes above G5, such as A or B flat. Alternate fingerings are also a quirk on the oboe that are used for getting out of tricky situations fingering-wise. So, for example, there is the regular fingering of F, which is all three on your left hand, 2 on your right hand, and then your ring finger on this key between the one with the open hole. This is your normal F fingering. And now, for forked F, you raise your middle finger and move your ring finger to cover the open hole. This is forked F. This is normal F. And forked F is used for playing, say you had an E flat afterwards. It's much easier to get in and out of an E flat in forked F than it is in regular F. Now, as in terms of dynamics on the oboe, to go from forte to piano, gently close your aperture around the reed, and this will make the sound smaller. Just fades away. And for forte, you want to open up your aperture. I hope all of this was very helpful, and I hope that you are able to use some of these techniques in your future oboe journey. Good luck out there.